Are you a small business owner with a single member LLC trying to figure out how to pay yourself? I mean, the good news is you're making some money, so that's great. Now we just need to figure out exactly the best way to pay yourself. But don't worry, I got you. We are gonna dive in and figure this out. Because you're a single member LLC, you're essentially filing the same way as you would if you had a sole proprietorship on that 1040 through your Schedule C or Schedule E. So essentially, you're going to be subject to self-employment tax. So I mentioned that because we really want to avoid getting double taxed, okay? So we're going to already have the self-employment tax on the profits that we make from the business, but if we were to pay ourselves with payroll, we would then also be subject to payroll tax. And so that's where you hear the term double taxation on your pay. So we do not want to be taxed twice. We just are going to deal with the one tax right now. So now let's figure out how to actually do this in your bookkeeping. In order to avoid double taxation, we're going to pay ourselves with an owner's distribution instead of through payroll as an expense. Now, owner's distribution, like what does that actually mean? Like what do I actually do to pay myself? So let's take a look at it. Essentially, first you're gonna wanna make sure you have a business checking account. Okay, so use your EIN number that you got when you set up your single member LLC and set up a business checking account that is separate from your personal checking account. We do not want to be commingling our funds. We want these to be two separate things, your personal finances and your business finances. So once you have that business checking account set up, then we can do the owner's distribution. And essentially all it is when you're in your business checking account and you're ready to pay yourself, you have some leftover profit, you will just do a transfer from your business checking account to your personal checking account. Then what's gonna happen is in your accounting software, what you're going to see is a transaction for the amount that you transferred from your business checking to your personal checking. So it will show up as a transaction in your business account. And so then you're just going to want to make sure that you categorize that as an owner distribution. So in order to categorize it as an owner distribution, you need to have that set up on your chart of accounts. And that's going to go under equity. It is not going to go under expenses. This is going to fall on your balance sheet and on your cash flow statement. It is not going to be on your profit and loss as an expense. So when you go to your chart of accounts, make sure that you've set up a owner's distribution line item. And while you're at it, I would also set up an owner contribution line item, because same thing for if you need to invest money or put money into your business, you will do that as an owner contribution. And any money you're taking out, owner distribution. These are both in equity, not on expenses. So just make sure that in your chart of accounts, you have those set up. So in summary, your single member LLC is going to be considered a disregarded entity, which means that you're going to file on your Form 1040 under your Schedule C or your Schedule E. When you're taking out any money to pay yourself, you're going to do it as an owner distribution. That'll be subject to self-employment tax, but you will not have payroll tax. And you're going to want to make sure that you have a separate business checking account set up so that when you really do take that money out, you're transferring funds from the business checking to the personal checking. And then in your accounting bookkeeping software, you're going to categorize that transaction as an owner's distribution, which on your chart of accounts is under equity, not an expense. So you should be all set to pay yourself, and make sure to check out our next video. You got this.